Kick off your New Year's Day with the Bloody Mary and the PBA. January 1st, 1 Eastern, right here on ESPN. Our continuing coverage of the PBA World Championship rolls on. The Johnny Petraglia division. Sean Rash, Pete Weber. Enough said. I'm watching because of those two guys, but a couple young guns involved as well in Ryan Simonelli and Nathan Bohr. Ruiz, 180, the low score of the day, and he is eliminated. Shafer, Gomez, roll on. And here is today's More of What Matters to You fan question, brought to you by the makers of One A Day Men's Pro Edge, and it comes your way from Patrick Martin from California. It goes to Ryan Shafer. And Ryan, how do you know when it's the right time to make a move?
Usually for me, it's either when obviously I go high and I don't feel like I can move left with that ball anymore, or if I flat 10. Flat 10 to me is the ball's burning up and it's not going to make the right shape anymore.
And Ryan, Chris Barnes here. A lot of people know you're diabetic. How does the adrenaline affect your blood sugar and maybe your feel?
I think at first the blood sugar kind of spikes with the adrenaline and the anxiousness of being on the show. It wasn't too bad today. Obviously with exercise you can get a low, but with my insulin pump I can back off my insulin basal rate, and it keeps me like a normal person.
Thank you, Ryan. You see the JDRF logo there on his right chest. Juvenile Diabetes Research Fund, one of his sponsors. A wonderful story. Ryan Shafer, Andres Gomez will bowl for the right to move on to the finals of the first major of the season, the PBA World Championship. We'll have it when we return. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, Chris Barnes welcoming you back to match 3 here in the Hardwick Division of the PBA World Championship. Andres Gomez from Bogota, Colombia. Ryan Shafer from Horseheads, New York. The winner will move on and become the second of 4 finalists at the first major of the year, the PBA World Championship, which will be held January 15th right here in Las Vegas.
Chris, who do you like in this final match and why?
I am going to stick with Andres Gomez, and I think he has the advantage. He's a little deeper on the lane. I think he's going to be able to create more room and more carry angle.
After that strike by Gomez, you saw him kind of moonwalk back and stare down things. Looks like he may have a little question in his mind right here. Shafer steps up on the right lane. Messenger.
That would have been a shame.
Ball goes right by the 9-pin. He was looking for the 4 to get nudged into it. Didn't happen for him, but single pin spare attempt nonetheless.
Ryan Shafer with the spare in the first, and here's his arsenal.
He's going with a Nano Pearl on the left lane, Marvel Pearl on the right lane.
Well, that right hand is loaded up with tape and gloves.
A lot of games bowled to get here.
It is a grind.
You saw the hook ratings for those bowling balls, and that's the strongest ball that he has brought with him for this final match. The strongest ball, he's using it on the left lane. Chris, why?
Well, because the left lane is tighter down lane. He needs that stronger ball. Ryan's little voodoo roll and a little bit of loft gets him through the front, which is troublesome for some of the players, including Ruiz. That stronger ball allows him to keep that speed up and still get through the pins.
Gomez in the second.
36-10.
Not the easiest of pickups here, 3-6-10.
Inside a target all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Never got it far enough to the right. And it's not like you want to shoot the 3-6-10 every day, but it's better than shooting a big 4.
Perfectly executed.
Yeah, and at this level, you have to be a good spare shooter. Andres is also using a Marvel Pearl, but he's using it on both lanes.
And he's been staring down both of these lanes early on as well.
Andres is a feel guy, so I think he sees it in pictures, and just by looking at it, he can see the shapes, trying to memorize those on his way.
And you can see what Chris Barnes is talking about, how this lane is tight down the lane. Watch the ball come off the end of the pattern, and the move going left isn't strong enough to kick that 10-pin out.
Courtesy of our friends at Catch, you can see on the right lane, that's the red line. Ryan is playing that lane almost 5 boards drier, and with a ball that gets down the lane a little bit further. The black is the left lane, playing it much tighter, getting to the same break point, but getting there in a much different way. You see that shot, he actually was a little bit deeper with his feet, started a little inside, but got it further right than his first shot on that lane. As that blue line overlaps, still got to the pocket, but very light.
That ball right about 4th arrow to 10. And that spinny kind of roll keeps the pins low and really mixes them up.
Shifts over to the left lane. Had a strike there in the second.
Come on.
It's been pretty good on that lane, Rob.
Perfect on that left lane all day long, and Shafer taking it all in stride.
I think you have to understand everybody gets good breaks and everybody gets bad breaks, and it's how you respond to them. You can't get too high at the good breaks and you can't get too low at the bad breaks. You got to kind of have an even keel. You have to be a grinder. And patience is a big thing. And in every other aspect of my life, I'm very impatient. Driving, whatever have you, but in bowling, I'm very patient, and it's worked well for me.
Well, it certainly has with 4 PBA titles. Now he's in the process of trying to get that elusive first major at the age of 45. Gomez in the 4th. Last time up, he left the 3-6-10.
310, baby swing.
Andres really struggling on this right lane. Seen a lot more friction, and with Ryan playing at 5 deeper, it makes it more difficult for him to use the same ball on both lanes and get a consistent reaction.
Well, that time he went to a different ball in the right lane, and that didn't work. And boy, at the start of this match, it looked like Andres had the right picture, and now all of a sudden we're both questioning what he's trying to do in terms of how he's attacking these 2 lanes in this final match.
Strike, spare, spare, open frame. He's locked and loaded at a 66, down 34 to Shafer. Couldn't afford to let things slip too much further away, so a very important strike there for Gomez in the 5th.
He's gone away from the bowling ball that we showed you in his arsenal. He's actually gone to something a little less aggressive.
that shot. I think that's the right ball, bro. Yeah. They're pretty close lanes. I mean, I don't know why he obviously scored them good, but for me, they're not that different where I am.
Don't try to make it hook, just let it go.
A little early turn there, causing the ball to go left of target. Let's see if Ryan can convert the 3-6-10 and maintain a pretty nice lead.
And he gets to go to the left lane when he's done.
Earlier we saw him hook at that with his strike ball. That time he used the plastic ball.
Having issues with the 3-6-10 right now.
So each with an open frame here.
Been there with him.
It's not my favorite to shoot at.
Good news though, guys, for Shafer. He's on the left lane where he has been perfect all day long. And it continues.
Is that an Indy Verapapa 300 if you're 12 out of 12 on just one lane?
No, but we should call it the Shafer 300.
Shafer 300.
Yeah.
Well, Shafer knows all about 300 games, guys. Let's flash back to this past summer at the Geico PBA Team Shootout. Had a 300 there, and then he and his teammate, Jason Belmonte, also dropped the perfect game in the doubles competition as well. Pretty good summer for Ryan.
Be right. Be right. Be right.
Strike number 3 for Gomez and a double there. The lead trimmed to 7 for Shafer as Gomez's girlfriend and sister take in the action. Gomez on the left lane, looking for a triple.
He liked that shot a lot, too. Wow. That looked really good rhythm-wise, too.
Never turned over down the lane. He ran this out and almost left the bucket.
This is no bargain here.
I'd rather shoot the 3-6-10 than the 2-4-8 because of that back pin, the 8-pin.
And that'll be your fast, safe pain relief replay brought to you by the makers of Bear Advanced Aspirin. Just barely enough to get that one to drop.
What do you call that, Rob? Skinny jeans?
Oh, man, I'm not even sure those are skinny jeans. He continues to discuss with his help. And here's Ryan Shafer. The right lane has been his issue.
Not the right ball. Hook's right here.
Oh, you heard him say it. Not the right ball. Look for a ball change. And the next time he's on the right lane, he says it's hooking right at his feet, meaning it's hooking early, and therefore the ball's not pushing far enough to the right.
Fortunate here to have a 3-frame stretch and still have the lead.
Well, Ryan, you've dominated on that left lane, but what is going on in the right lane in your eyes right now?
I don't think that lane likes me very much. We're going to have to do something in the 9th frame on it.
Don't take it personally. We appreciate your time, Ryan.
Oh, one of the funnier men you'll ever meet. Great sense of humor, dry, sarcastic, but he is and has had some great moments in terms of humor.
Looking for his 4th strike here on the left lane. Closing in on the Ryan Shafer 300 game on the left lane.
He's really stayed about where he was even in game 1 on that left lane.
Yeah.
He'll stay real firm, throwing it right at the 3-pin, just tipping a little bit at the end.
And he gets the finish on that lane. A lot of really good things working for him.
It's that next frame he has to get through.
Gomez made the adjustment on this lane last time. See if he can do it again.
He's down 10. There's your adjustment.
And Chris, I'm not so sure he's totally 100% committed to the bowling ball he's throwing, the line he's playing. I don't think he's convinced it's the right way to go.
I think you're absolutely right. It's hooked early on that right lane a couple of times. That shot was a little bit firmer to hold it on line. But if he gets firm on this lane, it's not going to make it.
Remember the last time on this lane, he ran it out and left the 258. It's never a good sign when you're running out the bucket.
Caught that one.
Good news for Andres. He doesn't have to bowl on the left lane again. Bad news, he's trailing by 10, and Shafer's working on a strike in the 8th.
Yeah, the bad news is if Shafer figures out a way to turn that voodoo roll into a strike in the 9th, I don't think Andres is going to get to throw another shot to have a chance.
So Shafer will step up on the right lane. He only has 1 strike on that lane here in our final match of the day. The winner will move on to the finals of the first major of the year, the PBA World Championship. See the rather significant difference between success rates on the left and the right lane.
Man, threw that good.
7-10 split.
Our friends at Kegel, you can see that ball crossed. He tried to get a little firmer with it, make it stay on that line there, move to the right, about 3 boards from 21 to about 17, and it didn't hold. This is what he wanted to do. He was trying to execute. Didn't work.
Trying to avoid a second open frame here in our final match of the day.
Get over.
Open frame in the 5th and the 9th, both on that right lane.
Completely changes everything now. Down 2 pins, he can strike out to force Andres to go double 9 spare.
Yeah, the good news is Shafer's on the left lane, and he's been perfect all day on the left lane.
Worst shot of the year.
Got away with it.
Did he just say worst shot of the year?
I think he did. And according to our friends at Kegel on the CAT data, it was about a board, almost a board and half inside of the last shot.
Worst shot of the year.
I appreciate his honesty. Got away with the big one there in the 10th. Trying to tighten the pressure a little bit more on Gomez.
Get up! Hit it! That's terrible.
All of a sudden, he's starting to lose it on the left lane.
Well, all day long, he has not made back-to-back shots like that on that lane.
Right there.
And when he needed it most, he threw 2 of his worst shots of the day.
That's how you blow a tournament right there. Stupid man.
The dreaded overcompensation. How many times do you see a guy go washout or 2-8-10 only to grab the next shot and have it go high? Gomez.
9 spare strike to win it.
Yep.
Shafer done at a 191, by far his lowest total here today. He started with a 267. That dropped 60 pins to a 207, and now he sits and stares at a 191 and hopes that's enough. For Gomez, 8 spare, strike is a tie, 7 or less, and Gomez goes home.
Pega, pega, pega.
Just like that.
Not enough. Shafer is your winner.
We talked about it. I wasn't convinced it was the right way to go. The line looks good. Wrong ball. Too soft, too weak down lane.
Yeah, it just looks like it picks up in the front. He felt like he couldn't get the ball down the lane, so he forced it through. He trusted it.
He needed a 9 spare strike to advance. Gomez does not get it. Shafer celebrates. He moves on. We'll hear from him when we return. The PBA World Championship is brought to you by One-A-Day Men's Pro Edge, a multivitamin with more of what matters. By Spiriva Handyhaler. And by Brunswick. Find your next ball at bowlwithbrunswick.com. Welcome back to Las Vegas. Our continuing coverage of the PBA World Championship. 2 of the 4 slots have been booked for the finals of the first major of the year, the PBA World Championship, as Ryan Shafer has joined Osku Palermo. Here's how we got here, courtesy of the Geico Championship recap. Match number 1, Tom Smallwood in the 8. 194, not enough, gone. Match 2, Ildemaro Ruiz, the big 4 in the 4th, big problems, 180. Please exit the building. Match number 3, Ryan Shafer all over the left lane all day long, continued his success. Gomez in the 10th, 9 spare, strike for the lead, didn't get it, reacts from Shafer. Don't cheat me, he knows he moved on and he's standing by with Randy.
Well, Ryan, it was certainly back and forth in that final match. After being perfect all day long in the left lane, you made 2 of the worst shots all day. I want to know what was going through your mind when you were sitting down watching Andres Gomez pull the 10th frame.
Well, first of all, in the 9th frame, I switched balls again for the 4th time on that lane, and I threw that ball as good as I could throw it, and it went high and split. So I got up in the 10th, and for me, that lane hadn't changed all day. So you start thinking in your mind that it might change. So I chunked that shot and got away with it. The second shot, I just threw 100 miles an hour. And I was thinking that, just like usual, it would go my way. But Andres, you know, Andres is a great bowler. The right lane was trouble for everybody, and he left a 2-8-10. He probably threw it good. I'm not going to say he didn't throw. I wasn't watching, but he probably threw it where he thought he needed to throw, and it just didn't react. And I usually don't get excited like that because I don't like to show up my opponent, but it meant a lot to me.
Well, you've been so close so many times in majors. What would winning a major finally mean to you at this point in your career?
I can retire in peace. I'm 45. It's getting kind of late. I know Mike Scroggins won one pretty old, and he's my inspiration for that.
Thanks, Ryan.
You can hear the emotion in Shafer's voice. He has moved on, and he has a chance finally for that elusive major. Who will join him? Rash, Weber, Simonelli, Bohr. Find out on New Year's Day, 1 Eastern, right here on ESPN. A 191. It wasn't the prettiest of scores today, but it was enough in the final match, and Shafer moves on to the Final 4 of the PBA World Championship. For Chris and Randy, I'm Rob. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.